Hello. Can I interview myself? Wayne on Wayne.
Hey, Wayne, can you hear us?
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, unfortunately for you, we'll kick things off. The club has fallen at this hurdle in the last 3 years. How do you ensure that doesn't play on the players' minds this weekend?
Well, there's no certainties in what we do, but it's not something that we've been dwelling on or talking about. We've just been focusing on this match, and it's the one that matters. The rest of the past, and we can't change that.
What makes you confident that this is the year that you can take that extra step?
Just the way we prepared, not in the last couple of days, the way we prepared all season, the way we played our football, the position we found ourselves in the end of the season. So they're all things to give you confidence about taking the next step.
Tom Jabojevic is the big factor behind Manly's run this year. What can you do to try and limit his involvement tomorrow?
We just got to make sure we don't spend too much time worrying about it. Just play our own game, and if he gets the ball, tackle him. It's a pretty simple process, not complex.
Wayne, Desi was pretty expansive on Daley Cherry-Evans this year, claiming that he's come of age as a leader and matured and learnt to sort of delegate tasks on the field. Having coached DCE at Origin level, would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, I really enjoyed coaching him. He was a great guy and very mature, and he was captain of Queensland as well. You don't get that if you haven't got that leadership ability. So it's a pleasure to have him in the team and to work with him. And I've been watching him play this year, and he's played good football. He's always been a footballer, but he's just probably gone to that next level. This is just to get more players around him playing better as well.
Has Origin and how the Blues defended against him given you any ideas on how to shut him down at club level?
Well, I've only coached against him for about 10 years, so I don't know if I need the Blues to tell me how to defend him.
Wayne, can you tell us a little bit about it? I guess your time at South seems to have kind of flown 3 years there now. I know you were very proud to coach such a historic club. Can you just tell us about the time there and what it's been like to sort of be in charge of that club?
And not really. I just don't want to talk about myself and my time there at the moment. I just want to. It's the players' time. It's not mine. So I'll leave it at that.
You've been building for this moment, though, Wayne, haven't you? Like you've had 3 years to get to this point.
Well, we've been there for 3 years. We've got to get past this point. That's that challenge tomorrow. We go that step further. But they've been a wonderful team to work with, and to their credit, they've got themselves back here again this year, which makes it 4 years in a row. Actually, it's quite an achievement.
How much improvement he's got in you, Wayne, from that last Penrith game, mate? It was a pretty tight contest.
Yeah, well, we felt we could have executed a bit better. I thought we let a couple of opportunities go, so that's what we're hoping to do tomorrow night, execute a little bit better if we can, and maintain our defensive stability that we had in that game. Our defence was very good, and we just need to make sure we can back that up tomorrow.
You certainly started well defensively in that first 15, mate. Line speed was pretty perfect.
Yeah, well, as I said, we got our challenge is to replicate it a little bit better if we can, but certainly with our execution, we could a couple of tries we had chances to grab and we missed them. So if we grab them tomorrow, we'll be big help.
And everyone's trained well. Everyone's trained well the last couple of weeks, mate. So that team will run out 1-17.
That team will run out 1-17. Yeah, everybody's watching that.
Wayne, what role do you think the two number 14s, Benji Marshall and Dylan Walker, will have on this game? And I suppose how do you plan to use Benji?
Oh well, that's interchange for me. It's not something I have a preconceived idea about. Games ebb and flow. You get injuries when you don't expect them. Injuries of all different players, that type of stuff. So I'm pretty flexible on all that. I'm not so flexible on, when I put them on and that type of stuff. There's certain times I will put them on, but at the same time, who I put on and why I put them on, really comes down to what's going on in the game.
Wicket win, their 7th victory of the season.
What
West
about
Ham have exacted revenge on Manchester United, knocking them out of the League Cup with a 1-0 win 3 days after a heartbreaking.
Wayne. What about Dylan Walker, are you wary of when he comes on the field and what his role is?
No, well, I know he's coming off and he's playing pretty well when he's coming off the bench, but that's just something we're going to have to contend with. We're prepared for that. He's one of 17 players that can all play well against us if we let them. So that's our challenge, is to make sure that we contain Dylan and everybody else that's going to be a threat to us.
Do you have to react? Do you have to, like, when a player like that comes on the field, do you have to like react or adjust your defence, or you?
No. You're playing football.
Wayne, there's been a lot of talk about the fact you mentioned before, you probably the achievements for this side to make 4 preliminary finals in a row is obviously a pretty significant achievement, but it sort of gets lost in people talking about trying to take the next step. Do you think that undersells what this club's achieved in the past 4 years to get even to this point 4 years in a row?
Well, if you go and have a look at the stats some days when you've got a bit of time, it'd be quite enlightening. You talk about, the Roosters have been a tremendous team, the Stormers are a tremendous team, but Penrith's a tremendous team. But if you look at all the stats, win and lost over the last 4 years, South Sydney are probably 1 win behind 3 of those teams, or maybe 1 win in front of some of them. So we've won as many games as those 3. Storm are a little bit in front of everybody else, but the Roosters, Penrith, and ourselves are certainly about 1 win apart from each other.
So you think does the club perhaps not get the credit it deserves then, Wayne, for what it's done the past 4 years?
Well, we're not the ones giving the credit out, so you better ask those that are giving it out. I mean, we just play it and we do it, and we don't write the stories, and we don't get out there and pump ourselves up. So that's for somebody else to make a decision. But I just know what they've achieved, and as I said, it suits us to be undersold. If that's the way it has to be, there's no dramas.
Wayne, what about, we talk about big games and big players and big games. You just got asked about Daley Cherry-Evans. I mean, Cody Walker and Adam Reynolds, particularly Adam in the latter stage of the year, have been unbelievable. How important are they going to be? It goes without saying they're important for you tomorrow night, but how important are they for you tomorrow night?
Well, if they don't bring what they bring, we're going to be in a fair bit of trouble. So, but they'll do that. And, we've got a couple other guys there, and Damien and Cam Murray, that in that category, well in our forwards, that do a tremendous job for us. So it's just a case of them turning up tomorrow night and doing that job. Just 1 second, guys. I'm back.
Wayne, you had a couple of heavy defeats back in May. The second of those games, what happened in terms of, you went on a big run after that? What happened after those 2 games? Did anything change defensively? What changed for you guys to put yourself in the position you are now?
Well, things did have to change. Yeah, but we're not in the mood to talk about it today. So maybe another day, maybe we'll never find out what changed. I don't know. It's irrelevant. We're here. Take credit to them. We'll take those defeats they took, and to be able to stand here at the last 4 teams at the end of the season.
Wayne, is it a strange feeling for you not knowing if you'll be coaching a team next year, or sort of, I guess, your future's undecided? Is that odd for you that this might be your last game in the NRL for a while?
No, I don't feel odd.
Do you have any idea what your future lies beyond this game or beyond this season?
I've told you guys 1,000 times. When I know, you'll be the first to know.
Sure. Wayne, speaking of odd, Wayne, how do you like going up against Des? How do you find Des to deal with? And
we've been good friends for a long time, Des and myself. I've always admired what he's done, and we used to go to Armadale camps together. He was a player and I was a coach back in the 90s, and coached against him in the 87 grand final, playing for Manly. And when he came into coaching, just to come and visit me every so often, just to get a few ideas and so forth. Yeah, we've got a wonderful relationship, and I admire what he's done. And I love what he's done this year. Just put us all to sleep. He has. It's wonderful.
It was a couple of years ago, Wayne. He looked in trouble. Looked like he was almost washed up. Have you enjoyed seeing his the way he sort of bounced back from that, showing everyone?
I have, but certain coaches are made for certain clubs. And, clubs get it wrong a lot of times. They get the wrong guy there. Des is made for me. He played there. He understands better than anybody else. And going back there for him was easy.
Wayne, I'm not quite sure if you know, but Des is undefeated as a player and a coach in preliminary finals. Is there a certain trait that you see reflected in the sides that he has played or he coaches?
No, well, that's a bit of a myth stat, that one. What about all the prelim finals you don't make as a coach? It's just all about the ones you made. How many didn't you make? How many, on the same boat. So that's a myth stat, that one.
What, Wayne, do you expect? There's been a lot of speculation about Brad Parker possibly being injured. Des denied it this morning. Do you think they may run out differently tomorrow?
Look, we're just prepared for 17 players they've got, and if he comes out with a different team tomorrow night, that's so be it. We've got no control over that stuff, so I don't know why we'd worry about it.
Hey, Wayne, you're obviously a champion to the Queensland people with all that you've done in your coaching career. Are you hoping that the Sunshine State get behind you guys these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think what's a good comment, actually. It's fair. I think I have got tremendous support in Queensland, and a lot of people gone with the teams that I've gone to coach. And I hope there has been a rub effect here with South Sydney as well. I've got no doubt about that. So that's tomorrow night.
What would it mean to you and your family to win a grand final at Suncorp? You've obviously won a few, but yeah, to win.
Might ask me that question next week, eh?
Yeah.
We're still trying to win the prelim final. If we don't win that, we won't be there, mate. So.
Hey, Des, Wayne, can you give us a little insight into what Des was like back in Armidale? Was he as strange as he is now, or what?
No, he's a good bloke. He's only strange around you fellas. You do funny things to us.
What are your thoughts on his hair at the moment, Wayne?
Well, I'm trying to grow mine like him, but I just haven't got the mouth that he's got, so I'm in a bit of trouble. But I won't get a cut for this weekend. I'll keep it.
There's still time, Wayne. There's still time.
Thanks, mate. Okay, all good.